Recording started.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation or around the world. Once again, you are listening to the VMware Communities Roundtable podcast. This is podcast number 523. My name is Eric Belsu, and with me today I have my special co-host, Corey Romero. Today is August 19th. Corey Romero, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, Eric, and yourself?
I'm doing great. I have a crazy echo in my headphones, so if I've been stumbling over words, it's because I'm double listening to myself, and I'm not sure why. Oh, well, that isn't it. Anyway,
that's not it.
Yeah, today is August 19th, and we have an interesting show for you today. We're going to be talking about VM10 and the new beta community that we're going to be announcing. So Corey is with me today because both Corey and I have been working on that community. So we will get to that show. So Corey, thank you for coming on today. It's good to see you. We are on a live stream at youtube.com/vbarbecue. You can go check us out there, give us a like and a follow if you want to. And if you just want to see what we look like, we're also on iTunes, so you can follow us there, or you can go to TalkShoe and follow us there, vmw.re/pod, and you will get notifications, or you can just download it on iTunes. So again, Corey, weather here today, color of the bay. It is smoky. We have fire season going on, and there are fires up and down California. We had a tropical storm come through about 4 days ago that came up from the way south, hit some desert air, and created crazy lightning storms. And so we got more lightning in the Bay Area than we've ever had in California since I've lived here since I think 93. I've lived in California, and we had maybe 20, 30 lightning bolts over one evening, and that spawned off maybe 10 or 15 wildfires in California. So it is extremely smoky here. I don't know if you guys get the wildfires up in Utah, but we got them here.
You know, we do. Well, we had a fire actually behind the house here. So we live on, kind of the top of a mountain. We're surrounded by brush and trees and everything else and dry grass. But yeah, we had one like July 1st. We had a pretty good fire over there. We were up till, 6 o'clock in the morning, putting sprinklers on, talking to neighbors, figuring out what was happening. Luckily, the winds shifted and the police or the fire department up here got taken care of. But yeah, we've got lightning storms here. I actually love thunder and lightning. I grew up going to upstate New York, where there's so much lightning where it almost looks like daytime sometimes. But yeah, I love it. It's fun.
When I worked at IBM in Boca Raton, I lived down there, and man, they get thunderstorms every afternoon from the ocean coming in, and you get huge, just amount of thunder and lightning coming there. I come to California, and they're like, what is lightning? Everybody's taking photos of it, because I think of the 20 years I've lived here, I think total number of lightning bolts that I've ever seen in California is, excluding the ones we got the other night, I think maybe 7 lightning bolts ever in the 20 years I've lived here. So when you get lightning, there's like whole generations of people that, have never seen it, right, in their native state.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about the weather. I'm not even going to mention the color of the bay because we're not allowed to go outside. Not only do we have COVID-19, as well as, economy messed up. Now we have bad air to the point where they say just stay inside, and everybody's already staying inside anyway. So it is what it is, right? Back to the show topics. Before we get to the show, let's talk about key dates. VMworld, September 29th through October 1st. Looks like that's settling up. Got to do shout out to the guys at Discord. We're going to have them on. I don't even know their names, but they're setting up a Discord community during the 2-day online VMworld event. So if you want to join them, part of the V community effort, we're going to create Discord chat servers, and we're probably going to have the 7 live streams that are happening restreamed on Discord, so that if you want to come in and watch them in the Discord environment, you can chat with everybody while you're doing that. So we're looking forward to that. So that's VMworld 2020, again, on September 29th and October 1st. Spring 1, go check that one out. That's September 2nd and 3rd. We had Spring 1 IO guys on the show a couple shows ago. Like, that's going to be a good event. They're also going to be talking about Tanzu and Kubernetes in that event. So there'll be relevant content of VMware as well, but it's primarily a developer conference. Then we're going to do Code Connect October 1st and 2nd. I know that Reg opened up yesterday. So if you want to go Reg, it's code.vmware.com. You can go there, the head banner. You can go register for code. We have 50 sessions that'll be happening. They're going to the classic power sessions that we've always done at VMware. We're going to have the power sessions. We're also going to have a hackathon. So go to code.vmware.com and register now so that we know how many people are going to be there. And we will be opening up content, the session list. We've already got the 50 people notified that they're going to be doing live sessions. You can, I think we will be opening up the content calendar in, I think, next week or coming up shortly. I know me and Corey have been working on that website, so getting that ready to launch as well, so you can see all the great content that's going to be happening. And if you've ever been to VMworld, you'll know that we have the code booth and we have power sessions all day long. Very similar venue going to go on here, but we're going to do it the 2 days after VMworld. All right. With that, I will mention, I don't think we have anything for vExperts, Corey. So I think that not much is.
You know, yeah, we do have one thing. So we closed applications for vExpert application modernization yesterday, and we're currently in the voting phase for that. So if you're a vExpert and you applied for that, we're doing the voting, and we will announce awards for that program September 3rd.
Okay, so September 3rd, and that was the cloud native. Not cloud native.
Application modernization, yeah.
App modernization.
And we are working on a VMC on AWS. I've met with the team twice in the past 2 weeks, so it looks like that's getting some more momentum.
Well, that's good. Good. Nice to know that. Okay, with that, we've got the vExperts out of the way, and now we can get to the main topic, which this is just going to be a conversation between me and Corey. But I want to say first off that if you haven't been listening, I think we did a show maybe about 2 months ago where we talked about the fact that we're going to upgrade from Jive, which is our community platform, to Chorus, which is a new community platform. And both myself and Corey, me and you have been working on that upgrade. And a typical upgrade takes like about a year, right, to do an upgrade for platforms. Right.
Right.
So in your day job, you run vExperts, but in your evening time, you're a web developer too, right? So you've been skinning
code side, VMTN, all kinds of fun stuff.
And people ask us, like, what is VMTN? If it's a community platform, what does it actually mean, right? Like, we already have vMugs, that's community. We have VMTN, that's community. Where is the segmentation between VMTN and vMug? And that's what this topic, kind of for the show today is online community is kind of different. It's a different animal than vMugs, right? Where you're going and engaging with people. And community to some degree is a little bit of a misnomer, right? We tend to call everything community nowadays, right? Like we got vExperts, their community. We got Twitter, that's community. We got everything. Everything is a community in one sense or another, right? And when we're talking about the Jive community and the community platform, it's really, I want to go back to the old BBSs, right? In the 80s, if new people are young enough where they don't know what that means, it's a bulletin board where there was a platform where we just had phone lines back in the day, where you had 1200 baud or maybe 2400 baud modems. That was the upgrade. And then you used phone lines and you set up servers. People could dial in with their modems and then upload things and download things, right? Do you remember those days, Corey?
You know what I do? I didn't use it very much. Definitely not as much as you did, but absolutely, I remember those days.
Right. And those were the days that there was the way to share things. Back before the internet was developed, there were phone lines. So if you wanted to share something, that was how you did it. right? Digitally sharing, before Napster, before all that, there were BBSs that you could upload something and download something. And I know that the ratios were that the servers actually required you to upload one thing every 10 downloads. And so I would have to go write code. That's where I started to learn to code. So I could write some stupid app that I could then upload so that I could actually qualify to then download 10 more free things, right?
Right.
Yeah, those were the days. And because I'm now 58 years old, when I was in beginning of college and experiencing this space, that puts me in the BBX bulletin board days, right? And if you're a little younger, you might have missed that. You might have heard of them, but then, and then sometime in like mid 90s, the internet was developed and the BBSs started dying off. But what replaced the BBSs was the idea of a community platform or a sharing platform. So when we talk about community and community platform, it's really this replacement of BBSs, right? It's a BBS sharing platform where you can upload things and download things. And that's kind of the difference between community. VMUG is actually where you go meet other community members, engage with them, have beers, do things. When we're talking online communities, it's really that sharing aspect of where we put a big server together and we literally have uploads and downloads of sharing of content, right? And I think that's first off, just to get everybody's head in the game on what we're talking about here. It's a sharing platform. And then the number one sharing element has always been forms, right? Like, you have questions, you go ask questions, you get answers from other community members, and then we have community moderators that do things. But at the same time, there is that notion that you can upload code snippets, you can upload scripts, you can upload documents, and they have objects on the community sharing platforms that allow you to share things, right? It would be nice if they had version control on files so that you could do like a GitHub where you could upload a version of something and then download a version of something. And then these platforms have kind of spread out into services around the place where now I don't upload code, I upload code on GitHub, right? So I go to GitHub to upload. But then where do I go find things? So the community platform has almost been like, remember the at-home days and some of these other, home sharing aggregator sites? Do you remember those days where they would set up sites where you could go find things that were sharing, and they were basically just sharing sites, right? Or sharing aggregators. What is it? I think it was At Home was the big one that everybody used at the day, right? And then they got bought and then they went out of business. But it was a big sharing homepages, right? That you could set up homepages that linked off to other things. You didn't actually put a lot on At Home, if I remember.
Then Yahoo showed up.
Yeah, exactly. So in a real sense, now we have aggregators of places that you can share things, or you can go to a page, learn all the places. And I think you built something on the current Jive community that allowed users to share links to other content on all the landing pages on Jive, right? If I remember right.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I built a PHP application that sat within Jive. They did that. Yeah, absolutely.
It let
Click
people
link and you fill out your form, and
right. A big link aggregator, right? And so that kind of happened. But now, over the last 5 or 6 years, I've noticed that community has turned into this kind of like non-sharing or sharing, but like, oh, I built a blog article, I wrote a blog article, and that's what I share. People have become a content production houses, almost like where I build my blog and I share my blog. I tweet about my blog. That's where a lot of people, and there have been some people online that have complained that we're not actually sharing real things anymore. We're just tweeting about our blog articles, right? And then there are blog article aggregators who are aggregating the 7 people that did make blog articles or decent blog articles. There are blogger aggregators that then share more blog links and references, right? And so that notion of actually having a destination where I can put stuff right, and share it around a topic seems to have fallen off. I don't see anywhere where there's a BBS running where I can upload 1,000 things and have these big upload centers where I can go find things, right? So I think there's a niche that's been, left untapped with regard to where I can go find things to share, right? And then create an aggregated place to link off to other things around a category, right? I don't know if you've experienced that in your space, Corey, but I think I have. Right?
Not very much. I don't do a ton of that. But I have seen. But you're right. I have seen sort of decline, right, and a move to social, right, where people are, like you said, sharing their blogs, right, come to my site and learn about what I'm doing, right, versus putting it out there on a platform, right. They're trying to bring people to them personally versus a community-orientated space where you can find things. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like no one creates anything other than blog articles, right? William Lamb goes out and creates some scripts every once in a while and uploads them, and we have the code site that has sample exchange, right? So you can go places, but if I look at the old BBSs where people were really sharing real things, applications, coding pieces, cool images, whatever it might be, nobody's sharing that. Even to the point where people talk about wanting a sticker exchange, right? Like it's like we should have a sticker exchange. We should have a place that you take your PDF of your sticker, or there's a sticker company that just goes and makes stickers, and you can go order 20 stickers of anything you have an image for, right? I forget the name of the sticker Mule. It's called
Sticker Mule. Yeah.
So they got Sticker Mule. So if we had a sticker upload and download, you could just go upload your sticker, and then somebody could just go print out a sticker from Sticker Mule, right, and order it, right? But we don't really have that sharing space any longer, specifically across product lines, right? So I would like to get back to that. I'd like to get back to creating spaces that you can go upload shareable objects, right? And if you look at me and I go, if we're building a new community platform on VMTN, we're moving to Chorus, there's a piece of me that wants to go create shareable destinations again, right? BBS kind of, hey, you upload these things and the community can go grab them and use them, and you get credit for it, but it's a repository of not just blog articles, not just even forum posts, but actually uploadable, shareable things, right? And whether they be stickers or, hey, here's my lab manual, here's how I built out my home lab, right? But the thing is, you actually have to have curators, right? You have to have people that organize around, hey, I'm looking for stickers, right? So we're trying to build the idea when we move to this new platform called Chorus. We're actually looking at creating what we call coffee houses, right? But they're really just destinations like the old BBSs that you can come in and share things, and you can be part of that area, that coffee house. You can join that. You have a membership list, and then we have a leadership list for those coffee houses. And I think we have maybe 12 coffee houses that we're looking to build out, where we can actually create an environment that we can share real stuff, right? Whether it be sticker exchange, whether it be code snippets, whether it be home lab definitions, whether it be licenses, whether it be jobs around those topics, that we create topical shareable coffee houses that you can go. And then we're looking for community leadership for maybe I should just call them modern day BBSs, right? Where you can go share things. So share centers or something like that. And I know that's what I'm trying to create. And Corey, I don't know, do you think there's a bit of me that goes like, I wonder if people even care about this anymore, right? Like do people, because sometimes there's this notion of how do we get people interested in running something around a BBSs. And this is where the subgroups might be interesting when we talk about vExperts, because we've had moderators on our platforms for a lot of years, right? We have 25, 30 moderators that keep the forums clean, But now with the coffee houses, we have this coffee house leadership model where you can be a director. We're going to have 2 directors of a coffee house. We're going to have managers, and then we're going to have IC, individual contributors. And then we can have a director of a coffee house who's responsible. And maybe we make a sticker coffee house. And then we look for a director of the sticker coffee house that people can go into that coffee house. And then there's organized stickers. And we can have a coffee house, which would be focused on a shareable element, which could be stickers. Right? So
yeah, so Eric, well, yeah, I absolutely love the idea, right? Getting back to that. So coffee houses, where did you come up with the name coffee houses, and how does that correlate with communities?
well, a coffee house in Europe, right, is it's more like a destination. Like in the US, a coffee house is just Starbucks, right? You go, you swing in, you get your
Right.
$2 coffee or your $8 coffee or whatever, and you leave. But in Europe, the idea of a coffee house is somewhere where you gather, right? And you sit there, and they also have chocolate houses. I debated whether we call them coffee houses or chocolate houses, but you go to a chocolate house as well, and they have tables. They're relaxed. You enjoy, a hot cocoa, right? And the chocolate is really refined. And so coffee house, chocolate house, it's all from that notion that you kind of go there as a destination, and you might work there. And I think Starbucks and US guys have tried to emulate this. That's where Starbucks is like,
Yeah.
they try to define it as your second office, right? Before COVID hit, they were doing great, right? It was kind of like your
Yes,
second.
they were.
Now
Yeah.
it's like your, yeah.
Like go outside and work on the curb.
Right.
Our first trip to Europe, right? We went to Denmark, and we had the same conversation, right? Where you explained to me that when we went to the coffee house in Europe, that almost the expectation is to sit and have a conversation and don't just drink your coffee and leave, right? Where Americans drink their coffee or get their coffee and walk out.
Get their coffee
right?
in a plastic cup. Yeah.
Yeah. We had pastries and we had coffee, and we sat there. I think we sat there for an hour, right, and just conversated over various topics, right? Yeah. So I fully understand it. I love the idea, but I think it's great.
So if you guys are listening to this, I think the reason we decided to do a show on this was that we are looking for people that are interested in helping us run coffee houses, right? And coffee houses is like a BBS. So there are BBS administrators in the day, and their job is just to kind of like put a list together. What are we looking for? Hey, we're looking for a new vSAN sticker, or we're looking for a new XY, or hey, I went and found some of these stickers and I reached out to people and said, hey, could we put them on our sticker exchange, right? And so a coffee house leader, a director of a coffee house, and the good news is if you happen to be a director of a coffee house, you get to say you're a director, right? So if you ever wanted a director title, you can get one from VMware, because we're going to have directors of these coffee houses, right? And then we'll have leadership with those, right? I'm looking at okay. I'm watching chat, and Tony Foster's like, yeah, really, lol, yeah, okay. So anyway, I can't stay. I gotta watch my chat focus here. So the idea is that if we get people, and I think the subgroups have proven this out, right? That we started doing vExperts, we started doing subgroups. It took people a little time to warm up to the idea of subgroups, right? And I look at the coffee houses in that same vein, like it's focused on a given area. You need to find people that just really care about that area. They would love
Hey,
to be
Eric,
able to
just a moment. The
use
audio
an
is
online
dropping fairly.
platform to share. Really?
I don't know if you can hear me, Eric. The audio is really choppy.
Yeah.
And I'm losing video for you as well.
It can't believe it. The Comcast.
I think we might have lost you.
All right, let's see if we can come back in.
There you go.
I'll be back. I switched networks. I upgraded my, oh boy, I now lost talk to you as well. All right, we're back on TalkShoe now. Comcast
Awesome.
came and fixed our modem today, and then everything crashed just now. So thank you, Comcast, for fixing everything. It worked for all of an hour before everything died again. All right, back on community platforms and BBS's coffee houses. So I'll ask you, Corey, when we did subgroups, they were very slow to take off, right? The subgroups, remember we created our first one and we didn't get anybody to participate. It takes a little bit of time to get people used to this notion of a coffee house. And I look at the vExpert subgroups as very much the same thing, with the exception you don't really have a platform to share, right? So I think that there's probably a crossover when we talk about coffee house leadership and the vExpert subgroups, right? Might actually apply here. Maybe we can pull some people. But if you're listening to this and you're interested in a topic, or I would ask you to reach out, because we will be over the next couple months be looking for coffee house leadership, which then gets me. So I guess, Corey, I'll let you. Any thoughts around vExpert subgroups and coffee houses?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And yes, when we first did this, and it wasn't just the vExpert community taking a little bit of time to get used to this. It was also our own business units, right? They really didn't understand kind of what we were trying to do, and how the real benefits around this for the community as well as VMware. But yeah, it takes a little while for people to fully understand this. I think it'll be quicker on VMTNY, just as we're going to do a lot more outbound talking about it on podcasts and community and everywhere else, and Twitter as well. But you talk to the business units now about the vExpert subprograms, and they want in, right? We've got 8 right now, and we're working on a 9th. So there's a lot of folks in VMware, as well as the vExperts, who fully understand the reason and the purpose of the vExpert subprograms. So yes, I think this will really take off on VMTN.
And we have a couple, and I'll get into what we're going to be launching in September here in a second, but we do have a couple groups inside of VMware that are already signed up to run a coffee house and are interested, and we expect some momentum around that from internal VMware. One of them is GSS, so GSS and self-service. They're very interested. Global support wants to build a coffee house where you can come in and see the top tickets that are being resolved, and being able to share what everybody is experiencing when it comes to the different product lines. So they're interested in having a global support coffee house that just kind of gives you security warnings, gives you, issues around patching, to everything you'd want to know. What are the top drivers for tickets that week? So we're expecting them, and we have some ownership. And then global support has SEs. They're going to join, and so when you come to that coffee house, you'll feel like you've given global support a big bear hug. And there are some products that you can buy now that actually don't come with any support, right? So it just says, sorry, no support for this product. You have to go online in order to get support for a given product. And I see us getting into that space as well, where if you don't buy a support package and you go get a Fusion doesn't have anybody to call, right? They just don't do support. Right. If you want to learn how to do it, come to the Fusion Coffee House. So Michael Roy is going to be setting that up, and we will actually have a desktop hypervisor coffee house. And if you're interested in desktop computing, desktop hypervisors, Fusion Workstation, you go there, and then they're going to share everything they can possibly share. So those will work out, right? And then if we can recruit some community members that want to go find some free shareable stuff. I don't want to say steal anything, because that's what the old BBSs did, was you'd go hack software and then upload it onto your BBS. But if you can go,
you mentioned something about Napster. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But sharing, we're in a sharing economy these days, but it does have to be legal, at least somewhat legal. So we have that one. There's absolutely, obviously, Kripa is going to be running the VMware Code Coffee House. We're moving the code community elements into the coffee house We're going to be doing betas. So the beta program, we have good leadership on the beta program for the beta coffee house. Education and certification also has leadership that they're going to engage. But surprisingly, things like SDDC with vSphere don't really have good leadership there yet, right? So these are going to be popular spots. So it'll be interesting. And we are looking for not only directors, but managers and individual contributors for the coffee house. And then we have a page that's designated. When you come into the coffee house, you can join. You can look at all the members that belong to a coffee house, so you can see, who's all joined a coffee house. I think the membership list will be large, and so then I don't know how effective that will be. But you'll be able to search on people to see who they are, click on their profile, learn about them. So it's another online way to see who's interested in given topics. So the leadership page will also be in the membership area, so you can go see at any given time who the leaders are of a given coffee house, right? And then reach out to them, engage with them, and it's a place to put your profile information. And we'll call out not only the directors and managers, but individual contributors for a given coffee house. So it should be interesting. And I still think that might line up well with subgroups as well. So that's what we're doing. I know we've been working on that. And then the next thing we should announce is that we will be doing a VMTN beta program, and the beta program will launch, I think, on September 7th. So, and it'll run for just a couple of weeks. So if you're interested in seeing what we're talking about and looking at the coffee houses and coming and joining a coffee house, you can come to our beta release. Get the dates here and join. And we will have a small couple-week beta process where you can see the new VMTN, see the coffee houses, and come sign up to a coffee house. And then if you're interested in uploading content and delivering content in, you can work with us during that beta program. So if you have another idea besides just stickers, right, like hands-on lab definition profile for building a hands-on lab for a given area, or a home lab, so building out your definition of what a home lab platform would be for a given area, that would be good as well. Trying to look at my calendar here at the same time. So we're going to be launching September 7th, the VMTN beta program, open to anyone that wants to join. It will be password
How do people
protected,
join? How do people sign up for that, Eric?
I don't know. I actually don't have the answer to that. I'll have to get the answer.
I was waiting for that to come out.
I know that we're going
to. Maybe I should ask him.
Go online to communities.vmware.com. It will be an announcement. It'll be in a box on the front. We haven't launched it, the page yet, but there will be a page that you can go sign up. And then what we'll do, you'll just sign up and we'll give you the codes to get in. Okay.
Very cool.
September 7th through if you're a big VMTN moderator user, if you've ever been into forums, I get the unstable on my laptop. If you've ever been to forums and you want to see what the new community is going to look like, feedback. And if you have any good ideas on what else we should share, we have the ability to build out the coffee houses so that we can have more functionality in various coffee houses depending on what we have to share. So I think that's going to keep us busy. And I know, Corey Romero, you're actually busy working on it right now. And if you happen
I've been building the front end.
Zoom. I was going to say, I don't know if we can do this. Julia Klaus will kill me if I do this. But I'm going to go in to the beta site and I'm going to share it.
Very cool.
Maybe I'm on a really slow internet. It's never gonna load because I'm on the toaster network because Comcast let me down.
Yeah, it seems like
it's going pretty
TalkShoe
slow.
people cannot hear us. But that was, that was just 8 minutes ago.
Oh,
But apparently on YouTube they can.
yeah, on YouTube you can hear. It seems like I'm still live streaming on TalkShoe, but maybe not. Yeah, internet's pretty slow. Anyway, I think we're going to try to do the beta. We're looking for people that are interested in running a BBS or a shareable site on the site. We're going to create coffee houses. So if you're interested in this and you're listening to this podcast, that's what we would ask people to do, is to take a look at it, join the beta, give us some feedback, as well as if you're interested in engaging with us on a given topic, we can make you a manager or an individual contributor to a given coffee house and showcase who you are. And I think we'll obviously be reaching out to the subgroups as well. But sometimes community people aren't necessarily social media advocates, right? So it's sometimes introverts like to manage BBSs, right? So Corey, it might be a different set of people also that are interested in doing this kind of work, because you don't have to be an extrovert and you don't have to be kind of like a vExpert contributing all over the place to be able to share cool stuff in a given category, right?
Right. Yeah, I think we'll be able to get some folks out of the expert program for sure. Right. And so Eric, when we do announce this, you said it's going to be on the homepage of VMTN. Are we also going to put this out on Twitter and talk about this again on the podcast?
No, it's Fight Club. You either heard it here or that's it. You don't.
Or that's it. That's it.
That's right. We're not going to share it ever again. Well,
you'd be like, I heard part of the conversation, but Eric cut out when you said where to go. Where do they go again? VMTN homepage, right?
You know, the best way to find out what's happening is to send Corey Romero a personal mail. I know you really love it when the community reaches out to you.
Nielsen at VMware.com, right? So that's my alias. I'm going to beat you to that one, buddy.
Yeah, Corey's email is cromero.
Corey Romero at VMware.com. Corey Romero at VMware.com. There, email that one.
Yeah, sure. That one will be fine.
All the
Corey loves it when you
email address.
He spends
all the experts know my email address, so feel free to reach out if you're a VMware.
We will be tweeting out the beta, and we'll send it out on. I don't think we have a VMTN Twitter handle. I'm not sure we do or don't. Right? That's a good point. Right? Like we have the vExpert Twitter handle. We'll tweet it out there. We'll tweet it out. We'll probably tweet it out on VMware. The problem is with VMware, we don't want to make it so broad that we get 5,000 people in.
Right.
Killing us, right? Because then it'll be too many to engage. Because we do want to work with people, so we're thinking under 1,000 people on a community platform. I don't think we're going to get that many as it is, right? People have a day job, and so we get some people, but we are looking for people, and it is kind of finding people that understand the sharing notion, right, and what it means to share on a platform. So. Definitely looking for that.
Right. Hey, we do have a Twitter account for VMTN, and it's if you guys are listening, you want to follow this for updates on VMTN and what we're talking about here today is at VMTN Community on Twitter. So give that a follow, and we've got information going on that channel quite a bit.
Nice. If you follow that and you become a community moderator and you work really hard, we can give you a hat. So. There is that. We do give out hats. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So get a follow, and I'm being sarcastic, but we do have Board Warrior hats still, and the branding police has stopped us from actually buying more hats, so they're going to be a collector's item any day now, right? Because VMTN is they don't want it to be a too powerful of a brand. It might overshadow like vSphere or one of those other brands. So, but we do work
You got to
there.
keep it quiet.
Yeah, but it should be fun. I'm looking forward to the whole thing because just like people in chat, when you mention sharing stickers, people get that, right? Oh, okay. How about home lab definitions? I would love to be able to share how did you build your home lab, and what are some good best practices for building your home lab that people have shared, and sharing content around what works in a home lab, what network switches to use versus don't. So a home lab coffee house, I actually invited Val to come today to be on the podcast, right? Because the definitions of building home labs are kind of fun, and I can see a coffee house around building a home lab environment, right? And what is the new affordable components that I can build a home lab around, right? And there's always new nooks that are coming out. So I'm looking for a home lab coffee house where you can come into that coffee house and then just see all the gear, all the things that you could have for your own home lab environment, right? Which I think would be fun.
Yeah, that would be. There's definitely a lot of vExperts who would love to participate in that. I know a lot of vExperts have posts and love to share their own home labs, the design and how they built it out and everything else. So yeah, I think that's going to be awesome.
Right. So I got two so far. I got stickers and home labs, right, which I think would actually be really fun to have a coffee house around. And then we have the 10 other ones that are classic NSX. Carbon Black runs their own community coffee house that focuses on security. So we already have some other people that are going to be doing interesting communities. And really, coffee house is just another nice word to say a community, right? But it's an online community that's there to share content, right? So, yeah. And that's what we wanted to talk about today. We're going to have the beta program. We're going to have coffee houses. We're looking for coffee house leadership. You can follow VMTN Twitter handle. Jenny Gonzalez works on our team. She runs the VMTN platform, so she'll be around and can answer questions as well. And we will make sure that we run some beta meetings helping us out. And we do have the 25, 30 moderators that we engage with regularly, but then building that the community leadership role that we've never had before should be fun as well. And we can have 1 or 2 or 3 directors, managers, and then individual contributors for a given community. So looking forward to that. And we are coming up. We got a late start, but everybody has hard stops at 1. So sorry for the network issues. We're running through COVID networking problems, but I think we'll get those resolved. Before we bail, I gotta reach out to Tony Foster, who's been waiting patiently. I did make some great steaks this weekend on the barbecue. So the V Barbecue Report, Tony Foster, let me tell you, I did some steaks where I didn't marinate, just pure steaks. They were T-bones, so they were expensive cuts of meat. And we ran the charcoal grill up to 500 degrees, checked it with temperatures, and then just took steaks, didn't season them until they hit the grill. When they hit the grill, you put them on for 2 minutes, 15 seconds on a 500 degree charcoal grill, which is about the average temperature a grill hits. So you let it stay on for the grill pre-warms for about 10 minutes with the coals till they're bright red evenly. Make sure you light your coals evenly across the grill. And then you put your steak on, let it on for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Then right before you flip, that's where you put your seasoning on, salt, pepper, put it on, flip them, let them stay on the other side for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Season the other side, the side that's facing up, salt, pepper, garlic. Then after 2 minutes, 15 seconds, flip again, let it go for 2:15, season again, flip it one more time. So each side gets 2 minutes, 15 seconds twice. And that's it. You pull them off. And man, let me tell you, best steaks ever. So that's my V barbecue report. The family actually said it was the best steak they've ever eaten. Now that just means I probably aren't a very good barbecuer, but the 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and you don't put your seasoning on until you're ready to go, because the seasoning, salt and pepper will, if you put it on too early, it will toughen the meat surface. So you can either put the seasoning on an hour ahead of time and let it sit, or don't put it on until you've got it on the grill and then do it right while you're grilling. So that's my V barbecue report. I don't know if Tony Foster is still live on the stream or not, because we've had TalkShoe come and go. So I'll just give Tony a second. Are you here, Tony? I think we lost them. So that's it for
I think we lost some of the stuff in TalkShoe. I know audio on my PC is lost. TalkShoe audio, so I would imagine it's the same for Tony.
I think we lost the TalkShoe crew. We'll post the MP4 up on TalkShoe, so we have a full show there. Yeah. Thanks, Corey, for being here as always, and thank you for working on the community platform. It'll be fun to launch in September, the beta program, and then the full launch of the community platform will be sometime before the end of the year. So that should be fun. We'll work out there, and everybody will get to see that, and BBSs will rule once again.
Yes.
There you go. Thanks a lot, man.
Your audio is gone.
It is gone.